Hello and welcome to Simulacra Studios presents Trinity, Continuum, Aeon, Luna Rocks. I am your story guide, Scott, and my players with me tonight are Murphy playing Hannah, Nigel playing Bram, and Diane playing Frankie. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Cool. All right. So, when we last left our down and out punks on the moon, they had just survived, along with the rest of Luna, a pretty traumatic aberrant attack that has been heroically fended off by the forces of the Legion, the Psi Order, and the lunar security forces, as well as some assistance from the United Nations military. It has been it's been about 3 days since that has happened. There's a lot of post-catastrophe, kind of reorganization, and a lot of people having to do some emergency repairs on places. So it is kind of that shell-shocked post-disaster atmosphere. In the Bang scene, this has led to an absolute obsessive hunger for this jump bang project. Everyone's just been through something that the vibe, the consensus is that we've all just been through this trauma. We need this piece of art that is related to that. We need to feel connected to our fellow humans who are also experiencing this terror. And so there is a lot of hunger for the project. There's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of jockeying, and it has come down to Wonderroot as the premier venue and group who is going to be handling that premiere, and another group in Yucatan, which are I had a name in my head. The Rising Sion, who are a enclave of a youth movement called Psi Nippon. Basically, they are Nipponese expatriates who have relocated to the moon, and they're somewhat political exiles because they are in contention with their own government, who has a very anti-Psi, anti-BioWare stance, and Psi Nippon. Very similar to animal culture in general, and the Bang scene in general is very pro-Psi, very pro-Scion, pro-BioWare, and so essentially they've had to cut their ties with their home in order to live the life that they want to live. But they are this collective, Rising Sion, which is they spell a little weird, are also in the running to host this Bang project from the Jump Bang project. In the criminal world, business is great. Nothing fuels crime and opportunity like a catastrophe. So Bram has been called away more often than not to help do security for some very, very quick and shady deals. But he has also been able to keep in contact with two of you. So, what is everyone doing in the running up and the realization that you guys are this close away from getting this premiere opportunity? Let's start with Hannah.
So immediately after the disaster, I'm probably a little less focused on that and probably trying to go be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Basically kind of secretly as I can, using mending on to help people who are traumatized from the event, to help them kind of get back on with their lives. And then kind of once my focus snaps back to this, I will start doing my social media stuff again to basically. Well, first I'll probably actually reach out to the other group and kind of either way, no hard feelings. We'd love to come to your show or have you come to ours, and we'd love to get to know you or something like that. And
Okay.
I'll be very polite about the whole thing if there
Sure.
if there is actual competition between us.
Sure. Yeah, you've sent some overtures that way. You haven't gotten any concrete messages back other than a quick acknowledgement that you've sent. It's like, we've got to have a lot of things. We absolutely want to talk to you because we don't want this to end up being a bad blood situation. But it is what it is. But
yeah.
But there's a tentative meeting on the board to talk to them. What about Frankie? What's Frankie been up to?
Being a disaster. I mean, that's just how Frankie lives her life.
Same thing we do every day.
Mostly tagging along with Hannah, more than likely. Probably a little bit closer since the attack. Being very much so like the a little bit younger for a few days until she fully gets back into her like I'm a badass bitch mode. At which point she's like looks at Hannah, she's like, how do we what is this, like a popularity concert? How or like contest? Like how are they choosing?
Well, I'm not really privy to any extra information than you are, but don't think of it as a popularity contest. I mean, those guys' work seems as excellent as ours, and the other group cannot tell if they've been established for longer than us. Since we've had, one real show.
Yeah, they seem to be more established. Not like a lot, but they certainly seem to have like they're higher up, physically higher up in Olympus. They are in sort of the surface level upside. And they're the room.
They fancy as fuck.
The scuttlebutt about them is that they have access to some pretty kick-ass hard tech, like Nipponese tech that they brought from home.
I point out that it might just be a thing. It might be a matter of facilities. In which case, we should be their friends.
Yeah. Dang.
Either way, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'd love to be a part of it too. Don't get me wrong.
Well, yeah, of course, one way or the other. Just I don't know. It'd do really good for our image.
Well, yeah, that too. I look forward to seeing how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need beef with another band either way, though.
I mean, no, we're not gonna be mean to the other. Why would we be mean to them? They're not the Liberty Lads. Those we fuck over. The other bands are fine.
Damn straight.
There's something I can help you with because, we're not putting on a show. I mean, I guess I'll just go write some more stuff. Maybe that's what I can do. I'll go do that.
Yeah, maybe we can put together some smaller stuff just to put on the OpNet until we're able to figure out what we're doing for our next big thing. Keep the momentum going.
I'll go work on that.
Cool. So you're gonna start putting out like little projects and strip down, not full bang projects, but like some songs, some artwork. Cool.
Audio. She does a lot of audio work, so poems, speeches, music.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that is also part of Bang is like smaller projects that are designed for kind of what we know today, like YouTube videos and sound things, but only with super holographic tech that everyone has in their pocket.
She's going to be working, channeling out that fear that she felt during the Aberrant attack.
Okay.
So it's going to be audio. For sensory output, it's audio, scent, audio and scent.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
So she's going to be putting together something of that to kind of go through, describe. Basically, she's going to channel her panic attack. And basically, she's going to have, it's going to be a set. And this is the first one is going to be called When the Panic Sets In. And it's literally, the experience is literally Frankie channeling her panic attack, literally putting it into sensory input via language and smell.
Cool. Gotcha. All right. And what about Bram? What's Bram's life been like?
Yeah, couldn't find my tab. He is gonna be probably working a lot. Whatever jobs he's got to do, he'll be doing them. He's gonna try and make time to drop in on the girls and like say hi and at least try to spend like 1 or 2 evenings with them, probably at their place. under the guise of like security.
Mm-hmm.
And to that end, in as much as I can, I'll start trying to just do a little bit of reinforcement on their place, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of what I can do just with whatever materials I have on hand, or that I can get from the kitty,
Mm-hmm.
the Vikings kitty,
Right.
for trying to harden their apartment just a little bit.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna want one thing from you. I would like a path roll from you from your criminal enterprise roll, just to see how business is doing, how much of that money is flowing towards you.
Okay, is that just the one die?
It is one die plus an attribute.
Okay, um, let's go with cunning. So that's 4, and 1 for the path. So 5 dice total.
Mm-hmm.
3, 5. That is 2 successes. 1 is exploding. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. So yeah, you are getting what's owed to you. You are definitely like no one's shorting you on your what's due to you. So you have a little bit of money coming in, which is certainly very helpful for trying to help reinforce things and make the crash base a bit more secure, like putting some reinforcement on the doors. Maybe some private cameras that you're setting up. Go ahead and give me a technology roll to see how well you're able to reinforce it, since you do have funds available for that.
Okay. I will. I'll do cunning as well.
Sure.
May I help him? I moved one of my dots to technology.
Sure. Yeah. If you want to be helping out, so you can give him a backup roll for that.
Sure.
1 success. It's of exploding. 1 success.
Plus 2 enhancement, I guess, for me.
Okay, yeah. So working with Hannah, with using the funds and sort of some of the material that you're able to gather from your criminal life, you're able to give this place a pretty good once-over in terms of like making sure that someone's going to really have to spend some effort to get through the doors, and you've got a basic security setup like a surveillance setup, so that you can you'll know who, if anybody comes to call in, you'll know who they are. And it will do some it's the better than nothing special, but certainly a more of a stopgap than you had. Let me take a look at something real quick. For your buzz work, Frankie, I'm going to want. That's going to be a culture roll.
All right. I would like to spend an inspiration and add my intuitive facet.
You absolutely can do that.
Should have probably pulled up a dice roller ahead of time.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I'm going to be doing to do culture roll, and I would like to use my I don't know if presence would be appropriate. Maybe manipulation.
I would say presence or manipulation would be appropriate, depending on how detached or in earnest you're being.
Oh, she's being very earnest, so I think I will go
that would be presence.
With presence. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm rolling 10 dice.
Ooh, damn. So I believe the I don't think the intuitive facet gives you dice. I believe it gives you enhancement.
I can check right here.
Yeah.
The character's intuitive facet to any dice related to quick thinking, instinctively in the moment, applies to recovering from a surprise ambush. Oh, maybe I can't use my intuitive facet.
Hold on. Yeah, I think that would be more your reflective facet.
Okay. So I don't have any reflective facets. That's that.
That seems right.
When does Frankie think about anything? I guess. Increase the action's intensity by +1 for enhancement purposes. What does that mean?
What do you
Intensity?
intensity? Hold on, where do we see that?
It says extraordinary effort. Increase an action's intensity by +1 for enhancement purposes as listed on the scale table on 74.5.
Okay, so that basically gives you a +1 scale. Intensity is sort of a general catch-all term for things being better than they were. So that would actually give you a +1 scale. So you would have 2 scale on this. So essentially you are having a slightly bigger impact than you normally can. It basically pushes out your reach, pushes out your effort to
Yeah, that
slightly
works.
beyond. So yeah, you can definitely do that. You can do for extraordinary effort, and that'll give
I
you
will do that. That
some
sounds
scale.
good. So I'm at 7 dice. Let's see here. Now I do have artist talent performer.
Mm-hmm.
Would that
Yeah, absolutely. Your artistic talent would yeah, make sure you look over your edges. Artistic talent would absolutely apply to this.
Okay, cool. I'm not counting my striking looks because it's all audio.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like I'm gonna have 2 scale. I have 2 enhancement, and the rest is all presence related. That is visual. So I'm rolling 7 dice.
Okay.
5, 6, 7. I have 2 10s and an 8.
Nice.
So 2 10s and an 8, 3 with 2 enhancements. So that's 5 successes and a scale of 2.
Okay. So yeah. So you spend a lot of time just sort of pouring yourself into this work. You crank out a couple in this set of working through your fear, and it catches on. Like it catches on big time. It's one of those things of where it just hits the right moment in the zeitgeist, the right moment in the algorithm, and it catches like wildfire, and it goes viral over the lunar opnet.
Nice.
You tap into something that everyone is feeling, and so that certainly gets Wonderroot's name out there in a very big way.
Also, if people want to include, like if there's other Bang artists that kind of want to include their own sensations and feelings on it, she will incorporate it kind of like as a growing
Yeah,
chain.
absolutely. There is definitely remix culture going on hard on this.
I make sure to specifically offer, if you give me permission, with Rising Sion for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They definitely want to catch in on that because it's a big hit. Like it is a big hit. Like you are. I mean, along with that, you are starting to get a couple of messages from MediaCorps. Wanting to set up meetings because this does go pretty viral in the span of a few days. So you guys are getting like at first it's like, okay, the algorithm of this company sent me an automatic message. Then you're getting things with like actual names behind it. So you've got about maybe a half dozen like actual people trying to get in contact with you of various levels and reputations for like music and art metacorps.
Nice. Hannah, that's your thing.
I'm gonna delete them.
You don't want to make money?
You want to make money compromising what you're up to?
That
Look, if you want me to set up a meeting, that's fine. But if you're asking my advice, don't touch it.
We don't have to touch it yet. We're not that big yet.
I send polite responses that we're busy with dealing with. Basically, I make an excuse about the aberrant attack.
Gotcha. Fantastic.
I don't actually delete them, but.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So let's see here. So you're working your social media outfit. Yeah, that's going to be another culture role to really support. Like you're given a godsend. Like you've got a viral you caught the algorithm by its tail. So like you can absolutely capitalize on that to get kind of the winds of popularity of Wonderroot of the one in the Wonderroot direction.
Is that me or Frankie?
That's you, Hannah.
Okay, perfect. Cunning or presence?
Let's go with cunning. I think probably would be better for this one, since you're kind of trying to ride the waves of it.
One success.
One success. Yeah, I mean it helps. Like it certainly helps. Like you are guiding the way of it, and it's definitely a boon to have Frankie doing what she's doing. So yeah, you're getting the name out there. You're capitalizing on the popularity, and within about a day or so, the needle of opinion definitely starts swinging towards the Wonder Root being the people, and it's about then that you do get a serious contact from Rising Sion. They send you like a message like, let's actually have that meeting now.
I share it, of course. I assume that probably goes to the
Yeah,
cat
we
we
can
both
have a
see.
meeting. I don't care. Yeah, we can chat with them. They want me in person? They want digital? What do you want?
Yeah, they basically like they are inviting you up to their sort of upside studio.
I ping Bram as well. Like,
As soon as I get the info, I want to know what the Vikings know about them.
um. Yeah. Make me another path roll for them.
Okay, same as before using cunning.
Yeah.
2 successes, 1's exploding. 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, so yeah, you check out with like the Vikings kind of intel division. Mostly it's checking up on other gangs, and the first thing they check is these are Nipponese expats. Are they Yakuza get connected? Like did they bring that up the well? Their first pass on that, no, these guys are clean. Like as far as they can tell, like there's no criminal organization, at least from back home.
unlike us.
Yeah, unlike you guys, they may have being upside. They may or may not have any criminal backing, but there's nothing that comes up immediately. They seem to be like, from what they can tell, these are they're wealthy in that they came up the well with a big kitty. Like they came up with a lot of money from back home. Whether or not they're turning that money into like a revenue stream is that's unknown. Like they're probably in the process of trying to make their money work for them. But so they have money now. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to continue to have money.
Whatever I get in terms of a dossier, I'm going to forward on to.
Okay.
We probably have a shared drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Frankie makes a comment on it. I'm not reading this, so Hannah, bone up.
And I'll
Finger guns emoji.
I'll reply to the both of you that it looks like y'all might be able to maybe tempt them with earning potential. That might be an angle that you can use to
For what?
if you want their help, you can suggest that working together can make them some money.
Oh, so well, it is a collaborative piece. If we
Ain't wrong.
both could have our names on it, it'd be at their venue because their venue's better than ours, but our name would kind of be on it. I mean, that might work.
Oh, well, I was thinking honestly, just out of.
I mean, it's all collaborative, right? Like that's the whole point of this piece is to be collaborative.
Yeah,
I like that
Right.
idea. That's a great idea, Bram. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, really, I was just trying to get you to. You can kind of get them by the short and curlies if you're careful, so you can make them do whatever you want.
I don't.
Why?
I don't think we're doing that, but I appreciate the insight.
I
That's an
will.
opportunity. You gotta seize them where they are.
I will at this point remind you all that one of the kind of sticking points that you guys have been like wrestling with on trying to get this prepped up is that the equipment that you guys have currently is not exactly up to spec for this project.
I think then, Hannah, we should do that deal. We should try to make it a collaborative piece, have them host it, but have both our names on it.
If they're into it, I think that's great for everyone.
I think so too.
Also, and Frankie, I mean, no offense to either of you on this, but if this is a big thing with interplanetary attention on it, might be best if we don't do it in a space where we're, backed by the mafia.
What's that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I said. I love the credibility of being a band with criminal friends. Don't get me wrong, but we don't want to bring the heat down on either of y'all's
I
family.
am
We don't
not a
want to bring the
criminal.
heat down on anyone.
Fine.
All right. Okay. No. I have feelings about this. You just got done telling her that you don't want to compromise your artistic integrity, yada yada yada, for these big companies. So you're real concerned about that, but you are willing to not have the association of the folks that help you get already to where you are, because without the
The
Vikings,
association, that's a little different. Maybe I'm working under a faulty assumption here. Do the Vikings really want a bunch of weirdos from all over Earth and Luna and maybe beyond looking at their spaces? Because if so, I withdraw my statement.
I mean, attention economy being what it is, business is business. But
Respectfully withdrawn, then.
I mean, you do make a good point. Maybe that's me, jumping the gun a little bit. So I'm sorry.
I apologize as well. All right, so I
What
set
are
up a meeting
both
with
of you
them.
going on about? Can we just get this meeting on?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah.
do that. 'Cause
Where do they want to meet? I'll go and scope it out.
probably
Yeah,
at their place.
yeah, you have an invitation to their studio up in the Yucatan sector of Upside. Essentially, it was a Nipponese colony that essentially got abandoned and incorporated into Luna proper, into
So
Olympus
it's still
proper.
a part. It's connected to Olympus.
Yeah, it is a part of Olympus, but it was a Nipponese colony before Nippon went full isolationist.
Who was
All right,
occupying it? Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go right ahead.
Given that space is a premium on the moon, especially a space that can hold atmosphere, who was occupying that particular chunk of the colony before these guys moved in? Or have they just come in and rented a studio space?
They just come in and rented the studio space. Yucatan is big. Like it's like it's like a big neighborhood or a sub city. Using Atlanta, it's like Buckhead. Like
Okay.
if you consider Atlanta to be Olympus, Yucatan is like about the size of Buckhead.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll go ahead of them and I'll kind of scope the place out just from the street.
Yeah. I mean, it is still heavily Nipponese in culture because there were a lot of corporations that stayed behind and basically didn't fold back into Nippon when they there was a lot of Nipponese citizens up on the moon when they did what they did. So it is very heavily Nipponese, but not officially a part of the government of Nippon.
All right. I will make sure the suit is in as much as I can blend in with a bunch of Nipponese. It'll be very standard black suit, black tie, like trying to not stick out like a sore thumb.
Okay, so you are basically going to try and scope this studio out before they.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a larceny roll.
I'll do cunning larceny.
Sure. Yeah, there's a little bit of negotiation of like security, and you have to throw a little bit of money for transportation fees, both legitimate and illegitimate, to get get your way across the sectors, but you do manage your way into that area of this Olympus.
All right, that's 3 successes. And I'm guessing neither gunplay nor low gravity works in terms of specialization.
No, not here.
Okay, then 3 successes.
Okay, so you get to basically the neighborhood, the arcology where this studio is located. It's a smaller size arcology than normal, than even for lunar standards. But it is probably fits maybe about 5,000 people in this one block. It's got a lot of really good security. First thing you check out, excellent security. There's no obvious holes. There's no maintenance issues. You've trained your eye to look for inactive cameras and the like, and there's none of that going on here. This is all very state of the art, very well maintained. There is in terms of tech going on, the first thing you note is there is a actual legitimate airlock to get into this place. It is a hermetically sealed building, even under the Yucatan Dome. But you're able to get your way inside and check it out. I will say you have 2 clues left, so I will let you ask me questions. 2 questions about this place that you want to know the answers to.
Are there any ways in or out that could be considered secret? Like hidden back door or escape hatch, anything like that?
There are probably maintenance access to this place, given how interconnected and so when you get I will set the stage of where you're actually seeing this place. So this studio is located on one of the sort of common levels. This place is set up. It's got it's about 25 levels total, and every 5th level is it's not a residential level, it is a commercial and community space level. So it's on one of those levels. So it's places where businesses are, where community space is, and it is sort of tucked away behind kind of a rock garden that has been set up for the community. And it is it's kind of best way to describe it would be a kind of a strip mall location. And it's just got very it's not very flashy. It's not advertising it. This isn't a place where people want to come in and do business in. It's a place where these guys are doing their stuff. So yeah, looking at that, looking at the other places, yeah, there are maintenance pathways that can probably get in and out of this place.
Okay. And is it possible to bank the clue for later?
Sure, yeah, you can bank the clue for later. You can use that either as an enhancement, ask another question, or do a bunch of stuff.
Okay, then I would like to do that.
Sure.
And I will wait till I am out of the arcology to send my findings back to Frankie and Hannah.
Okay, yeah. So you 2 received that report from him.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Huh. Ray just says cool and looks over at Hannah are we expecting trouble?
It's always good to know another way out of a situation,
I mean, that's fair. I just am I missing a memo here? Is this a hostile engagement?
No, doesn't have to be. We don't know. Could be.
Okay. All right. Cool.
We both want the same thing, so there's at least a little there's a seed of conflict there.
I suppose.
Let's hear them out and see what they have to say. If it's if it's a bad time, then at least we know we have plenty of ways to leave.
That's fair. Good point.
Okay. So yeah, the time for the meeting comes. Bram, you can be waiting there for them. How are you guys? How is what's the drip like? What's the fit like when you guys go to meet these people?
Oh, I don't change anything. I still do the low key Joan Jett thing.
Gotcha.
Frankie's in one of her outfits.
Okay.
It's
Same suit as before.
Same suit as before. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you guys basically get
today's word is fishnets. She's in
Fishnet.
a lot of fishnet.
Gotcha.
Like
okay.
a surprising amount.
Mm-hmm.
A
In
surprising
her
amount
hair
of
and stuff.
fishnet.
You wouldn't expect it.
It's kind
And
of a
she
lunch
still has
lady
her
chic, but it
sugar
works.
bubblegum pink hair. Like that is her signature. She has not changed that.
Cool. Okay. So you guys show up. You guys basically get buzzed in. Make your way up to the studio space, up a couple levels, and sort of present your mini comp authenticator chits, and the studio door opens. This studio space is, it is a study in contradictions. At one hand, it's very clean, it's very organized, but it is also decorated in a very loose and punk aesthetic. There are posters everywhere. They all seem a little out of date, but they appear to be like very well maintained and very well cared for. There's a lot of bright colors and sort of graffiti aesthetic going on, but nothing here is messy. And it doesn't necessarily come off as inauthentic or insincere. It just seems to be there's a cultural need for cleanliness going on here that it does
clearly appreciative.
Yeah. That is clashing with the need to be punk rock. But it doesn't look like to your trained aesthetics, this doesn't look like people who are posing. They just looks like they're managing various cultural imperatives.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you guys come in and you meet the duo of Rising Sion. They appear to be a man and a woman of about the same age. They definitely appear to be Nipponese in heritage. They come forward and welcome you into the space. The man introduces himself as Satori, and the woman introduces herself as Karma.
Hannah, pleasure to meet y'all.
Hello, welcome. It's so
Up space.
Thank you. It's we've been trying to make it work. A lot of stuff from home. They kind of point out some of the posters, like these were all contraband back home. So we definitely loved every stitch of it and tried to bring as much of it back up here as we can.
I make note of any of the groups I haven't heard of to check out later.
Like I said, it's all very out of date. Like these are things that were popular maybe 2 years ago.
Maybe it's classic stuff I haven't heard of.
Indeed.
When I was in high school, I used to learn a lot from other people's pins and stickers.
Nice. And they say, please come in, sit down. Can we get you any tea or drinks or food? We've got a pretty good maker set up. We can replicate some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I'll take what's it? Green tea? Yeah.
Absolutely,
Please.
Absolutely, yes. Anyone else?
Sure.
Can
that's
I
fine.
roll, I guess, culture or empathy to know the customs of hospitality for people from Nippon?
Sure, yeah. Give me a culture roll.
Knowing that the Nipponese drink green tea is about the limit of bramstone.
1 success.
Yeah. I mean, you know enough from essentially cultural osmosis to kind of know that you should take your shoes off and general sort of hyper politeness. But at the same time, you're getting the vibe of these are people who have been rejected by their culture, So you doubt that they're going to care so much
Okay.
about if any of their cultural norms are disrespected and unintentionally disrespected.
In that case, I ask for a cup of tea and ask what they'd recommend.
Yeah, they whip up a pretty good green tea. Pot of green tea gets filled up, and then they get a pretty good karashi bowl of process 3D printed raw fish and real rice going. But yeah, they offer it as kind of a communal thing to all of you.
Dang it! I should have brought cookies.
Oh, it's fine. It's
Gotta
fine.
whisper it to my my agent.
Noted. Putting cookies on the replicator list.
I will say,
No winking from ourselves.
before we went in,
Mhm.
I do want to establish a network.
Okay, yeah, you're able to open that up, and all of you are in telepathic communication.
For y'all, let me commit. I think it's 1 point. Yeah, I commit 1 point for it. And so when you think that, do you think it out to the group, Hannah?
I mean, not on purpose, but since because Hannah obviously loves hospitality and is upset that she's not doing it.
You want me to call somebody and get
No,
something
no, no,
delivered?
no, no, no. Sorry. Now.
I mean, it's no problem.
All right. So anyway, out loud.
Yes. Let's get down to it. This is Karma talking. Says, first of all, she looked to you, Frankie. Oh, your panic set. That is some serious stuff. Like, I mean, we all kind of got ruffled up on it, but clearly you turned it into something special. So, wow, I really like what you've done.
It really helped me work through some stuff.
Oh yeah, don't yeah. It was rough up here. I'm very happy that our building security system was good, because we lost air up here.
Yeah, I noticed that. This building's actually got an airlock. You don't really see that very often.
Yeah, some of our residents here have total allergy syndrome
Oh wow.
from back home. So it's part of a measure to help with their security and safety.
Huh. I see. And I mean, I guess is there nothing that what do you whatchamacallits, the doctor guys, can they not help y'all with that?
Yeah, they can. It's just a matter of getting appointments for that level of care. It is something that can be treated. Of course, back home, that's not
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons many of us have come up, is to help relatives with that. Of course, it's a political nightmare to get people out. But yeah, no, it's part of the reason we came up here, to get access to that kind of care for some of our family members.
Is that something? And you'll have to forgive me. I'm primarily the security detail, but every once in a blue moon they ask me my opinion. Have you? Is that tension a welcome part of your work, or would you rather not include it? Think about it. Would you rather have your work as an escape from that?
No.
Negative.
We are very political. We are very, very against the policies of Nippon when it comes to sci and biotech. Obviously it's such a great boon to humanity, and they are so doggedly authoritarian about it. It's those of us who can get out are very committed to helping the rest of us, because I mean, the ones who are out, it's great, we can experience it, and animal culture has really embraced us. But there are so many Sci Nippon kids and young adults down there that are just utterly denied access to something that they know is beautiful and know is true. So yeah, our work is all about that. And that's we've seen your guys' work too, like not just the stuff that you just put out, but the tree project, like the stripped down versions of that. We've been enjoying that too. I don't think we made it down there for the premiere of your thing, but definitely a lot of respect for you guys' work.
Thank you.
Thank you, and likewise. It's
Yeah.
all of us are from somewhere, right?
Yeah, God, yeah. It's a balancing act. A lot of our stuff was really popular within our community back home, and that the Bang community here and the anime culture here is very sympathetic, but it's kind of like along the lines of us praising something that everyone here almost takes for granted. Yeah, so we've been trying to work and trying to do this thing. That's one of the reasons we kind of want to help premiere the Jump Bang project. Sort of show that we're a part of the bigger community.
So we kind of had an idea about that.
Oh,
And she in her brain, she's like, we decided on that, right, Hannah? I'm already here now.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. She's kind of like, so the whole point of this, Jump Bang thing is about coming together and being collaborative. We were thinking maybe we could do something like that on a smaller scale here.
Us work with y'all to put this thing on. Maybe do it to make it a collaborative product process, even on this end of it.
That's something certainly that we're thinking about. Especially with how popular you guys have gotten very recently. You guys have caught a wave here. It's just, and I really don't want to offend. We would not try and do anything like that. But word has gotten around that you guys are pretty hardcore in terms of where you come from and the people that you work with, and that is not entirely a vibe that we're comfortable with. Like, we respect it. That's your guys' scene and how you guys do things, but working together, that might not be something we're ready for.
I got over the link. Y'all got anything? Or y'all want me to take this one?
Money.
You're probably getting puzzled from Frankie over the link. Like, Frankie's not picking this up.
Yeah.
Like, Frankie also looks puzzled. Like, she doesn't understand what they're like. The look on her face is confusion. Like, she's not putting it all together. And she thinks to Hannah,
Family. They don't want family entanglements.
my family doesn't come to my shows anyway.
Out loud, I'm like, well, I certainly understand. I certainly do understand that. I can't, of course. I don't want to tell y'all how to run your business or anything, or run your lives or anything like that. So please don't take it this way. But if it helps, I can assure you, family involvement starts and ends right now, at least at or I don't say that, starts and ends at venue space. It's kind of how things have to work down there. If you're not comfortable with that, well, not a whole lot I can do about it. But I do understand. If we were to work together, I can assure you that business would not be part of it.
Satori speaks up and says, yeah, I have to be honest, like, your guys' space, from what I've heard, is pretty kick-ass. But...
So's yours, so look around.
Oh, this isn't... we don't have a performance space. This is our studio.
Well,
we were in talks with...
some nice digs.
Yeah, if we were going to do this thing, we're we're in talks with another sort of an upside club that is kind of more of a sort of a neutral space that hosts projects kind of like more of an art gallery kind of thing. But you guys definitely have the club vibe, like the underground club vibe, better. And yeah, I mean, trust me, we've been going over this in our head. That the idea that your space is deep underground with what happened recently, that's certainly a plus. But yeah, I just don't. We uh. So you say that it's about venue space down there with your connections.
Indeed.
So-
Family business
Venue we
doesn't
got.
really come into music other than that.
Um,
Oh, are you guys talking about my dad? Like, frankly,
I just gotta look over at them and
like,
see if
what?
they nod or respond.
I'm gonna make a roll for them real quick.
I have a uh, I'll wait to see what these guys say, what happens with this role. But Bram is slowly developing an idea.
Okay. Yeah, they kind of like look over to you and like kind of look confused. Like,
You can feel Hannah like facepalm in her mind.
a little bit.
Like, what are we talk? Like, okay, she looks over and Hannah, are we not? We're not talking about my parents then.
I think we're talking about the conditions of our venue space that we have used and plan to continue using.
Oh, yeah, it's Viking territory.
But I mean,
that is yes. That's what we were not trying to bring up directly, but now that you mention it, yes. I mean,
It's not a secret.
well, we were actually kind of hoping that you guys would be on board with not doing it at that space and finding a neutral space to work together on it with. But well,
I mean that certainly is a possibility. I mean, if we could do it in a space that, well, I mean that's the thing. It's like that's kind of the big question. If we're going to do it in a neutral space, then why do we need to do it together? I mean, we've got the tech to do it. It's not really so much about like.
Well, now it's not about need as much as about community and being a part of each other. And I think y'all can understand where I'm coming from with that.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, that's certainly definitely part of the vibe here. And we're
Kind of our thing, if you haven't
yeah,
noticed.
it absolutely is. I mean, it's part of Bang in general. But if I'm going to be completely like cards on the table honest here, you guys have this great big wave behind you. And, if we were to do it together, then yeah, sure, we could ride some of that wave, but you guys would be riding that wave even further. So if we do it on our own, then we get a big bump and you guys get a bump for your own stuff. So we're trying to make our own name pop here. So I mean, if we were to work together, I mean, there's benefits either way, but there's just a lot of uncertainty with that.
I will send through the network. I think I got an idea. Do y'all want me to try and vocalize it?
Yeah, you feel immediate agreement from Hannah.
So out loud, I've been pretty quiet this entire time. I had my first question, and I've just kind of been sitting there, arms crossed. And I'm like, all right, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm with the Vikings. All right. Now, I've known these ladies for a while. They're good people, and they got it. They got the juice, whatever it is you want to call it. And right now, meaning absolutely no disrespect, and I really do mean that. Y'all ain't got the juice. You guys have the tech. which is very nice, but you don't have that that momentum right now. And you're right. You could hop on the wave, and I get it. Maybe you know, I ain't got the style of some of the mobsters that you might be familiar with, but I understand reputation is an important thing, and you don't want that getting you don't want any of my stink rubbing off on you. I get it.
I wouldn't say it that way, but continue.
They have got the juice, but they ain't got the tech. You need juice, and you got the tech. And maybe this can help some of your revenue stream problems. Establish something. Now,
over the mental league stand kind of on board with what you're saying. Not to mention having friends in low places might really help with immigration processes.
And you know, if I'm being 1,000% honest, maybe we can pull a couple strings and get some of the squeaky wheels greased in getting particular individuals out of Nippon. You know, we got connections. It's just something for you to think about. And look, this really ain't my gig in terms of, you know, negotiating. I'm much more of a you know, bruiser guy. But look, business opportunity is a business opportunity. You know, you're like puzzle pieces. You know, and they got the little swoopy thing, you got the little loopy thing, and so, you know, you can put them together. You know, it's a good opportunity. You know,
Bram. She's kind of thinking, Bram.
Yeah.
Bram.
Yeah. I think I can do this.
Making a lot of promises right now.
I'm sure it'll be
Keep those
fine.
fucking promises. I can't keep that fucking promise.
Well, talk to Maui. It's okay. It's cool. He'll see what I'm talking about. No problem.
Okay, sure.
All right, I am going to need a persuasion roll here. Definitely, yeah. I mean, you are doing a lot of the talking there, so.
Oh yeah, no. It's
Can
gonna be
I add my presence behind it? Like my
we can make this a teamwork roll.
Okay.
So you and Hannah can definitely roll to support Bram. But Bram is the one putting the ideas out right now, so I'm gonna have to have the primary role be his.
Bram
That's
might be
fine.
How much momentum do we have?
You guys have
We
4
start
momentum
with
right now.
4. Yeah. Question. Do my my merits and stuff apply to this since I am in the room and present?
Yeah, they would apply.
Okay, cool.
So my cunning.
Give me a
is
second.
4.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta roll mine. Let's see here. Presence. Persuasion. I actually have that now. 7. 6, 7. Roll.
I have made an
2
integrity.
and rolling.
2
and rolling. 3 and rolling. 3. So 3 with 4 enhancement. 7.
I only have cunning, so I'd like to take 3 momentum if that's okay with y'all.
Okay.
For a total dice pool of 7.
Okay.
Fine.
Oh, thank God. There's at least one success. And there's 2. One of them is exploding. 3 successes.
And I got 4.
4? Okay. Nice. Okay, that easily overcomes the integrity roll that I made here. So you guys put the charm out with Bram's sort of a braggadocio and
Please, I am himbo at best.
himbo energy. Gotcha. With Frankie and Hannah acting as backup, and there just seemed to be some resistance and whatnot. It's like, all right, you make a lot of really, really good points, and I suppose if you guys wanted to collaborate on this. Put our names on the project. Get a space together that's not associated with anybody. Then yeah, we can share the glory on this, I think.
I think that would be what's best for this. It's the whole message of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, luckily, luckily this isn't a full show. Where none of us are going to be performing here, other than managing the tech and doing promotion and doing the logistics of it. So yeah, I mean, we can both put our names, and this is a collaborative project, and hopefully get this out, because I think we can all agree that this is a pretty important project.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we want to do it justice more than anything else.
Exactly. That's why we want to embody the whole point of this whole thing is about coming together and being collaborative. That's why we're here.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there are some issues of getting people out and getting people from home. So we wouldn't say no if there was a way to make that easier.
I will reach out to Mike Topo, and I'll try to get someone to liaise. Who is uh, who is the authority around here that you would be comfortable with someone talking from the Vikings talking with? Somebody who can give us names, people who need help.
There's a man named Shiro who helps with that sort of thing. He is let's say he is formally connected from back home, but he knows the ins and outs of that sort of thing.
If you can give me his contact information, I'll make sure that the right people talk to him.
If you need your
Absolutely.
names left out of it, I'm sure that can be arranged.
That would be good, I think. I think we would rather just leave it at that in terms of our involvement with that sort of thing.
Question, Scott. So I'm going to take a look around, kind of while they're negotiating this deal. Frankie doesn't consider this part of her deal, so she's paying attention, but she's not like brokering the deal. So she's kind of like background for this.
Mhm.
She's actually looking around, and she's trying to see with the clutter and from where they're coming from and their stance on a whole bunch of things. She's looking to see if she can see any witness of tomorrow, kind of either a symbol, a code somewhere. Basically, she's looking to see if there's anything that is connected in that sort of way.
Give me a culture roll.
I do.
Lot
And
of
I'm
culture
using,
rolls.
yeah, a lot of culture rolls, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Well, I got 2. I remember I upped it,
You
so
did.
we're good. I guess that would be cunning
Yeah.
and culture. 4, 5, and roll. 2, 3, 3 with a exploder. Come on, make that one something else. A 10. That works. And a 9. 5 successes.
You look around, and you see in one of like all of their posters are in like nice little frames on like the wall and on things. You see sitting on one of their counters. You see a framed flyer from a witnesses protest rally. Um, in the There's a city that is kind of like the open city of Japan. I forget what it is, but it's basically like one of Sai Nippon's like halfway houses between Nippon and the rest of the world. There's a lot of them that live there. So there was a rally, a witnesses rally there, maybe about a year and a half ago. So you see
Gotcha.
a protest rally from a flyer from that rally on one of their things.
So she kind of like leans back and she, in her mind, because she doesn't know how to filter thoughts. I'm fucking not a psychic. She kind of goes, Huh, that's a witness of tomorrow rally. Huh.
Have
Are
you
they
mentioned them to me
witnesses?
before?
She's she's probably mentioned the name before, but that's her organization
That's
that
her
she's
conspiracy
kind of.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my conspiracy friends. And she just kind of tilts her head and she looks over at them and she says, so these posters and this contraband, is it all personal from you all? Did you collect it yourselves?
Yeah, us and some of our friends. A lot of this was, like they point out like Psi Order, propaganda and, Aeon Trinity stuff and, a lot of biotech advertisements. Um, and, a lot of
Whose desk is that? She points over towards the one with the Tamara post framed picture on it.
it's just like, oh, that. I mean, well, it's all really both of ours, really. But yeah, that was a rally that I think, yes, Tori, you attended that one, right? You're like, yeah, I was at that one. Um, Interesting people, the witnesses. They have certainly their theories, and they're interesting, but not exactly. There's a lot of sympathy, I suppose. I mean, I don't hate what they do, but their
Can I
goals
get
and
an
our goals.
empathy
Yeah, I was about to ask the
roll on
same.
him?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and give me an empathy roll.
I'm trying to like I don't
Like,
is he like a sympathizer or a believer? That a witness or
Sure.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
yeah, is he putting up? Yeah, is he pretending he's not into it?
I do have a dot in empathy. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not an
Correction.
Yeah.
empathic person.
Hannah, you pick up like he's pretty sure he's telling the truth, but there is kind of a steel behind it of you don't think he's a sympathizer, but there may be some allies that he's trying to downplay from like a political revolutionary kind of angle. Like he might be associated with some of these people in a
Yeah, over the line. Like
political sense.
I don't think he's one of them, but I think he might have some ties to him.
Okay. I failed, by the way.
Okay.
Frankie has no damn clue.
Mm.
She kind of nods. She goes,
What's their
yeah.
deal? I say out loud, but then you start.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they got some pretty interesting ideas. I've read a bit about them.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who can who can stand up to the Norsa, and survive as a political movement, I gotta respect. Like, not that I hate the Norse. I love the Norse. The Norse do great things, but they're formidable. I mean, they're scary.
Fair.
They're scary motherfuckers.
There's
but
one authority. It's always a little nervous. It always makes me a little nervous.
yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I understand that. It's just but so and
Well, if there's anyone else who attended the rally, I would love to get their opinion on it.
I'm gonna make a roll for him now.
I'm
Are
not
you
very
like?
subtle.
Are you you're not trying to be subtle at all here, are you?
I mean, Frankie is never subtle. Frankie's being subtle for Frankie. Frankie hasn't been like, "Hey, I want to meet your witness buddies."
Okay.
So that's subtle for Frankie.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, but you're not trying to like play this cool or anything. Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, as cool as Frankie does.
Okay. He says, I might know some people. He kind of like he's like, hold on, hold the fuck on, and he pulls up a thing on his mini comp. He looks at it, looks at you, looks at it, looks at you, and says, "What the fuck are you talking about? You're our contact here. You're the person I'm supposed to go to if I want to talk to the witnesses here."
Hi.
I just kind of lean over to Bram out loud, like, What's happening?
She's kind of like laughs. She's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?"
Like, yeah, I can totally get in touch with someone on the moon here. It's you. Ah,
I
gee.
was
I am
curious
so
if there was
lost.
anyone else around. It's fine.
Okay.
This
This
is
went in a totally unexpected direction. Cool.
We're
It's nice to meet
complicated.
you.
Hi, I'm Frankie.
I know. I are your friends like they look very confused.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
do that
really
a lot.
I'm not really part of her whole conspiracy thing if that's what this is.
That's what this is.
I mean, okay. I want to make something very clear. And like Karma is just sort of rubbing her brow like she is not happy about any of this. Like we're signed upon. Like we make that fairly obvious. We're not a part of the same thing that she's a part of. We just have contacts because there's some overlap in our goals. So
Yep.
if
Hence
she
why I was
hasn't
trying.
told you about what she's into, then I don't feel comfortable telling you what she's all about because that's her business. But this is weird. This is a very weird situation.
Totally fair. Bram, I think I have to go do something in the other room. Is that a distraction?
Sure. Is that? Are you gonna be okay, Frankie?
Oh, I'm just
What are you?
over the
what?
thing. I'm like, I don't know. They seem like they want some privacy.
No, no, they don't want privacy. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are
What's
you doing?
happening?
Who the
She
fuck
just
is
kind
the
of like
witnesses?
looks up
And
at
why
the
does this
sky,
guy know
and then
you
she's kind of
somehow?
like, she just kind of sighs. She is, well, clearly my subtlety needs some work. Don't worry about it, y'all. This is a sidebar that clearly is not going anywhere currently. However, now that you've met me, if you need anything on that front, feel free to contact me.
We absolutely will. It's like I said, it's good to meet you. So let's maybe hammer out this
Yeah,
bang
let's go
thing.
back to bang.
Yeah.
Let's go back to bang.
Let's
We're
go
all
back to
more
bang.
comfortable in the bang.
Oh,
Let's
thank
bang.
God.
So yeah, you guys talk around and like you basically put together some logistics and promotional strategy to put your guys' name to basically agree to collaborate and accept the accept the project from Wild Terra. And basically collaborate on putting it on and getting it promoted and like handling all the ticketing and you put together like the hardship lottery. Like you guys spend about a couple of hours just going over the logistics, merging your contact list for this purpose and getting this set up. It is it is a montage of punk bureaucracy essentially. And
I can just see like halfway through it, there's like Frankie with her feet up the wall, just
Yep.
like staring.
I was like, y'all are done with your conspiracy stuff. My time to shine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that hard to get it all together now that you guys have sort of gone over the hurdle of finalizing who's going to do what. So yeah, it gets put together by about the evening time. All the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, and you guys basically have arranged for a pretty popular upsides performance space. And the ball is beginning to roll. You guys basically get the contract from Wild Terra settled, and it is a PR victory for both of your organizations.
Nice. I'm excited about that.
We probably both argue over who doesn't get top billing because we're both being polite.
Yeah.
Oh no, y'all should get it.
No, y'all should like all right, like okay, we'll get a poacher design that doesn't put any one particular person on top.
Actually, Frankie pitches the idea of making it a circle
Okay.
and putting the original people, like the original
Oh yeah, of course.
Mhm.
jump artists front and center, and then having theirs kind of as this. What is their? Do they have a certain theme about them?
Yeah, I mean they're very sort of
Like an element that
yeah,
they would embody?
uh they embody a lot of they don't so much do elements. They bring a lot of like biotech aesthetic
Okay.
with Nipponese flair, because they're all
So
about saying they're signed upon is all about we shouldn't be rejecting sci and biotech. This is the future. Nippon is trying to keep us in the past, so they are trying to represent a future in which Nippon and biotech and sci work
So a
together.
tree made of
merge.
circuits.
Yeah, basically.
That's
Kind of
that's our shared logo.
that's what I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm thinking of a root system that is made from basically incorporate the roots that is wonder roots with their biomechanical. So having like the leaves, the flowers, all of that be biomechanical with their names literally written inside of them.
Cool.
So it is a collaborative effort all the way through, and the people that get the most that is leading it, so to speak,
Hmm.
are the jump artists.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you guys work out those details and make sure that everyone's representative fairly, and all of your guys' aesthetic plays nicely together. And the ball gets rolling on that. Like it's very much like I said, it's not an artistic endeavor. It is a logistical endeavor to
Right.
put this project on for
Yep.
someone else.
Yep.
And that gets rolling. They basically bring their tech with. They basically invest their tech into it. Very top of the line Nipponese holographic and sound technology with lots of like interesting haptic. All hard tech that they have. They don't have a lot of biotech. Even though they embrace it and like it, it's just the stuff they brought with them was all hard tech, and it's all very cool, top of the line. But yeah, so evening time comes. You guys order in some food to finish out the deal, but eventually they say like, okay, thank you for. We've got this in the bag, and we'll be in touch, and we'll get the ball rolling. And so you've got probably you've arranged for basically a half a month of shows that you
Nice.
guys are promoting and putting on.
Nice. Very nice.
But they ever so politely, do the motions of okay, now it's time for you to not be in our house.
Yeah. Uh, Frankie does pick up on that one a bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and usually she would have something to say about it, but she's friendly with these people, so it's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
All right then. But yeah, so you guys wrap that up. What next?
On the way back down, I'm going to go ahead and open up a channel to Mao on my radio.
Yeah, I mean it whirs a little bit, clicks a little bit. It has to go through some layers of security since you're higher up, but eventually you get a connection to Mao. So how's the babysitting?
It's going pretty well. Had some interesting developments, and eh, they want to do some work with some very nice kids up in what was the name of the place?
Yucatan.
Yucatan.
Mm-hmm.
Some Nipponese kids up in Yucatan. I helped with some of the negotiating and talking. They want to use a different venue space. There's going to be some tech, but one thing that I wanted to do for the Vikings, kind of get them in on the action, was maybe getting them connected to a guy by the name of Shiro, who's doing some immigration work for him, trying to get some people out in the pond.
There's a good 10-second pause, like getting a little ambitious, aren't you?
I have this idea, man. I just wanted to help them out, but I didn't want to cut out the Vikings from something good.
Nope, I get it. Good initiative. You got the contact for this Shiro guy?
Yeah, I'll send it along to him.
All right. Look into it. It's not exactly our thing, You know, we move guns, we don't move people. But you know, maybe we can work something out. It's not always best to branching out can bring its own difficulties in our line of work, you know?
Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought of that.
But hey, as long as you didn't make any hard promises, you didn't put our name in anything, it should be fine. But
No, and honestly, I was a little worried about that. You know, I was afraid this was kind of going to get away from what had been going on, so I didn't want
yeah, just, you know, hey, a contact is always good to make. If something comes up of it, then maybe we might work on it. But just be careful with that sort of thing. Because if word gets around that the Vikings are dealing in business that we're not dealing in, and then the people who do deal with that sort of thing start to ask questions and raise concerns.
I got you, boss.
All right. Just, you know, be careful about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we'll handle it on our end.
I was going to ask, is there anything else, anything you guys need from me right now?
So they're not going to be using our space for whatever it is.
It's going to be an installation. It's not going to be a live performance. I think they still want to use the space for live performances. This is like a short-term exhibition, I think.
All right, so no obvious ways of us getting a cut on it.
Not really. As I understand, it's kind of like a museum, and you know, aside from the occasional enthusiast, I don't exactly know any kids going to museums looking to get raved out. You know.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, if you think of something, let me know, because otherwise, you know, we got other things you could be doing.
No, I get you, boss. I get you. Yeah, I'll be thinking about it.
Cool. All right. Well, stay safe. We still got a lot of work to do, so you know you got a job tomorrow morning. So you know you spend your free time however you want to spend your free time. You know, keep an eye on them. Make sure keep an eye on your kids. Make sure you know the investment stays where it is. And but you know we got that thing down by the corridor tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, signing off.
See you, Mom.
So yeah, you guys make your way back downside, back to you guys' crash studio space. About time for the nightlife to start kicking on. What are you guys' plan for the evening?
She kind of looks at everyone. She's like, do we want to go celebrate? We can go drinking. Like, we can go hit a club.
Yeah, I'll come with y'all.
What's wrong?
It's nothing. It's okay.
Clearly, it's nothing. I don't have to be the one that can read minds to know that.
I just
You have a terrible poker face.
feel like I kind of messed up, and yeah, just I didn't think about things that maybe I should have. And
Anything we can do to help you?
I don't know. I'm kind of scared of doing any more thinking. You know,
Why?
this doesn't ever really seem to go anywhere good.
You don't know that.
I mean,
Just because what you're thinking isn't someone else's cup of tea doesn't mean it's not a good thing. You should always think for yourself.
also, well, I know jump bang isn't like something you've got a lot of personal interest in. You're kind of helping us achieve a big dream. If that means anything, we really appreciate it. I hope you're not in any kind of trouble. And I kind of
I don't
awkwardly
think so.
pats him on the shoulder.
It's the whole thing with the venue that y'all were using was a way for the Vikings to make money, and if this ain't
Oh.
gonna be there, it, just the guys that I work with, the Vikings are very interested in the bottom line, and you are considered an investment. So
Well,
I'm worried that this may um, jeopardize my ability to continue to fulfill my services towards you vis-a-vis the security detail. So
well, tell you what, this run's only for a couple weeks, and we're gonna want to keep doing some stuff after that. So maybe Mice and I can start, or maybe we can start also kicking some ideas around for our next show in the Wanderroot official venue space.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with
Your
that.
space. And
I mean, you
maybe
also,
knowing something solid's happening will help them.
I mean, you also can reperform that. Like you can
Yeah.
you can
Oh
do
yeah, I
your
figure we will probably.
yeah.
we
You
saved
guys
everything from
probably
it.
have a couple of shows lined up for your own project that because not everyone got to see it, not everyone got to experience it, and the band community is all about if something's big and something's important, then the community wants multiple opportunities to
Actually,
experience something.
if you want, we could probably set one up for this weekend, especially riding the wave that we've gotten so far.
People probably could really use a pick me up after the troubles.
Yeah, let's do it. Is that cool with you?
yeah, I mean, let's go with
I
me.
mean, you're our contact. They want to make money. Let's make them some money.
Yeah, I'll let them know, and yeah, I'm sure we can get some personnel on the ground, and
She
yeah,
kind of like walks over to you and she's like kind of like taps you in the middle of your forehead, like pop, pop, pop.
hey.
Get out of your head.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other ones you can be in.
For real. You look so serious right now and totally upset. And I get that what had just happened could be a faux pas. It happens. But the problem is that you shouldn't feel bad about thinking for yourself. You're not someone's pawn, you're a person.
I understand that you think that way, but it's not the reality for me.
Yeah?
Look,
Why?
I'm way too sober for this conversation. Let's go and get some drinks, and then we'll talk. Okay?
Sounds great. Also, I want to hear more. I think it might be time you told us more about your other organization, Frankie.
What? How did this is not about me. This is about him. This is about him needing to be encouraged to think more for himself because currently he's feeling like he shouldn't think for himself. And he should. Everyone should.
All right, and as that argument starts to recurse on itself, we will take a break.
I was trying to give Bram a break.
All right, see you guys in a bit.
Yep.
Frankie's like, no.
All right, welcome back. So, our group of bohemians are heading out for a night on the town to get some drinks in them, and maybe have some conversations about what people might be having their toes dipped into. What kind of place are you guys going out to? Like, are you guys going out to a dive bar? Are you guys heading out to like some live music show, or you guys going to a coffee house? What's the vibe you guys are going for?
So Frankie's leading this expedition. We're going to a dive club because there's going to be dancing and there's going to be like that seedier atmosphere. Like you can have private conversations and it's not like an upstanding place, but it's probably like one of Frankie's favorite bars to go to.
Okay.
But if they are into that scene, then they can shape it. But if Frankie's leading, that's where Frankie's going.
I'll say Bram is not. Bram does not have the energy to direct. He's kind of along for the ride.
And it's fine with whatever. She doesn't really drink, but you know.
All right.
Dive club it is.
Okay. So what is the name of this dive club?
Let's see here. Sure, because that's the first thing that came into my mind. Neon Lotion.
Neon Lotion. Fantastic. Okay. So I'm getting kind of a. It's not even. It is a dive club, but it's also a little sleazy in my mind.
Yes,
Like
that's exactly what it is.
It's kind of sexy.
Like maybe it used to be like a sex club, but then that
It
kind
got
of fell
rebranded.
through.
Got rebranded. Yeah. Okay. All right. I dig it. There's still some decor. Oh man, I'm just thinking about some of the legitimate like sex toy clubs that you can go to in Cyberpunk 2077. Some of them are absolutely hilarious. They do wonderful things with mannequins. Such a good game, and such a really good visual touchstone for a lot of stuff in Aeon too. Especially like arcologies and the FSA and that stuff. So I'd recommend that for that purpose if you're a fan of the aesthetic. But anyway, you guys head there. It's moderately busy. There are some not strippers but dancers are at on the stage. There's some pretty good bang being played on the sound system. Drinks are flying. There's some decent bar food here too. Where are you guys headed? Are you guys headed like up to the bar? Are you guys getting a table? Or are you going to try and get like a more like out of the way back room situation? What's the
So I would like to spend a is this a scene shift, by the
Yeah,
way?
we're in a new scene.
Cool. I'm gonna spend one of my inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to establish that they know me here.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely they do.
And basically they have my favorite booth open by chance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Someone just vacated it. They're cleaning it up as we speak.
Excellent. And she just like you see Frankie hits like the front of this door and she literally bounces up to the bouncer up there, like literally hopping, and she just gives this like really big hug and a peck on the cheek, and she's like, "Jamal, thanks for letting us in."
Anytime, Frankie, you light up the place.
Always. Are you guys doing
Everywhere we
good?
take her.
Yeah, what's good tonight? Good tonight. I think they got your booth ready to go.
Yes. She just like gives this really big grin.
Jamal kind of looks over. He recognizes Hannah, but he does not recognize Bram. Kind of looks between the two of you, looks you up and down. Says, "I don't think we've met."
The name's Rosenfeld, Bram Rosenfeld.
All right, you're a friend of the band, I see.
Yeah,
He's one of us.
All right,
He's a part of us.
Say no more. And he opens the door, and you guys get into the club. A server comes over and leads you guys to your booth. That busboy is just taking away a bus bot is just taking away a tray of dishes and has sprayed and wiped down the thing.
Frankie casually like reaches over and takes one of the synthetic cherries off one of the leftover drinks and like eats it as she sits down in the bar. Or she sits down in the
Well, that's
booth.
funk.
So
Cool, yeah.
come have a seat. I promise they keep the place clean.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's music playing, there's dancers on the stage. You guys get a server bot comes over and puts up its little tablet for you guys to order your drinks.
So I actually tried the revolving sushi place in Atlanta, and they have a little server bot that brings you your drinks, and it is the cutest thing in the
That's
world.
awesome. What? I've
And
been
it
to a
plays like a
place with
little
the train.
chime.
But never a place to.
It's
That sounds.
Anyway,
Where is it?
uh
I'll ask you later. We don't.
yeah,
Have to
we'll
talk
talk
about
about
it.
talk about
I
it
want to
off
know
stream.
this place.
So-
I have to go there.
she
Um,
just grins and she's like, "Okay, so what do you guys want?"
Bram will just lean over and like tap out an order for a rather large amount of alcohol.
All right. Yeah.
Something mixed and fizzy.
Yeah.
She she doesn't actually order any alcohol. She orders food because she's just going to drink everyone else's drinks. So she just orders food.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so that order gets put in. Within a couple of minutes, it comes back. And yeah, it's a pretty kicking scene. There's people here, some people on the dance floor. Um,
Do they have darts or a pool table?
yeah, they have a sci-fi equivalent of bar sports.
Yeah.
And
Pool.
it challenges the table to one of them.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely get involved in some bar sports. And are you trying to hustle anybody, or what's
No.
are you just trying to play?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you have a rousing game. As the drinks come and you guys.
Maybe after Frankie gets a little drunker, I'll try to hustle her a little.
Gotcha.
It's fair. She's a mark.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, it's a pretty good evening so far. Eventually, you win win some, you lose some at your bar, at your sci-fi bar sports. And eventually you guys have had a couple of drinks put into you, and we come back to the table where all of you are.
Why are you still a sourpuss?
Because I'm questioning everything I ever thought I knew, and it's hard.
You mean you weren't already?
No, I wasn't. I was happy. I knew where I was. I knew what I was supposed to do. I had a place and I fit into it, and then all of a sudden you all happen to me, and this thing happens to me, and I'm in this bigger world now, and I just want to go back, but I can't. I'm like a mouse that went out of the mouse hole, and now I'm too big to fit back through it. And I knew who I was. I knew who I was, and now I don't. So, no, I don't.
So which part is changing you then? All of it?
The stuff, the bad stuff.
I mean, you could just say the stuff. I mean, I get it. You understand that, as I've told Hannah, you two are literally proof of everything we've been saying is actual and factual.
That doesn't matter to me,
It may not matter to you, but it is proof to you that this has been happening even if you weren't aware of it. Just because your eyes have been open doesn't change who you are. It just means now you're informed.
I'm not the same person I was. How can I be with what I can feel? I can understand what people are thinking. Week ago, 2 weeks ago, I would have ripped those guys off, no problem. I would have gone in there. I would have hustled them. I would have maybe broke a kneecap or two. But today, I'm a nice guy. I'm thinking, hey, maybe we can help you out. That's not what I do. It ain't never been what I do.
Is it bad?
I wish it was, because then I'd be able to hate it. It's the most beautiful
Well,
thing I've ever experienced. So,
Quick question for my two Syads. What is the status of your Cycloaks?
Oh, always up unless I say otherwise.
Okay, so just baseline.
Always up. Yep.
I'll say that in his current state, Bram has not remembered to do it. So he is at I am a Syad, not damping myself down level.
Gotcha. Okay, so you are a Psy user. Got it. Okay, just something I want to know.
look, I know that, and you can, Hannah can attest to this. I have my moments where I'm serious. But look, I know it's a lot. I do. I get it. I may not understand physically what you're going through, but I've watched Hannah go through it. I've studied it. I've gotten all the information I can about it. But just because I don't have the mental part of this doesn't mean I don't understand fully what you're doing. Don't question yourself like this. You're going to drive yourself insane. Where
I
you
feel like
come from doesn't make you who you are.
Shit, I'll drink to that.
You are the master of your own fate, and don't you ever forget that.
And 2 weeks ago, I would have not believed you, and I would have argued till I was blue in the face, because I didn't. I didn't have that. I I have my mom, but the Vikings are my family. They gave me purpose. They gave me a life, and now I don't know how that fits into who and what I am anymore. I have loyalty to them. Um, I don't think you ever been to that temple place thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I go
That place
sometimes.
we went to?
That's what you're talking about. You're talking about RSA, right?
Yeah,
Come with me next time if you want. I mean, I didn't really let them know what I was, but they're nice and the food's good.
They do make you help make it, though. I served mashed potatoes. Or what's it?
It
Green
was
beans.
hilarious.
is there somebody that we can talk to about this? About what
That
we
depends on
are?
who.
Well, the only person outside of the three of us and a couple other folks in Wonder Root that know, is Marty. We can always ask. We can always talk to them if they're not busy, being famous and all. Oh shit!
Or
I
at
should tell them
least.
about our show.
Also, you might be able to ask Marty if there's someone they might know that would be more sympathetic and available.
That's kind of
Look,
what I'm thinking, because
okay,
they
okay.
seem busy.
I can reach out to my contacts. I make that offer. I don't
With
know. We don't have the best reputation, but I mean, who does these days? But we've been the ones saying that this is happening and that everyone has been trying to cover this up.
See,
The witnesses.
I'd be inclined to agree, except I'm worried that they might want to use us to stop the cover up, and I'm not sure how I personally feel about that.
You think they're gonna move when they don't have all the information?
Oh no.
Does Bram know what the witnesses are?
Give
Or is that
give me a culture roll.
okay? Because he has no culture.
Yeah.
I'll do intellect.
Sure.
Oh my god, that's double tens.
Sweet.
2 successes.
You've heard of the witness of Trinity K. I mean, they're, sort of a rebel protest group, mainly on Earth, that, is kind of like they're known as shit stirrers. They have crazy theories about Psi and cover ups within Aeon and the Psi orders. But yeah, they're you probably put them in the same kind of, youth culture craziness as bang clubs a couple of weeks ago. Kids.
You think they'd be.
Sorry, go ahead.
If you think they'd be able to help me, like, really, I just want to talk to somebody, you know?
No, I know exactly what you mean. And that's why I'm saying I can offer it. I can try to pull out, see if I can find some of my contacts that might be in the city, see if they have maybe we have some, gifted people who are on our side trying to expose all this. Because here's the thing, this has been our main thing. If you look back on all of our protests, they have been covering up literally natural, you know, things since forever. Like we've literally been trying to, I mean, the whole Venezuela phenomenon article that parts that got released. Did you guys not read that? Well, there was like this research base in Venezuela that was studying. It was Venezuela, right, Scott?
Yeah, it's the research base in Venezuela.
They were like researching natural psionics, and of course they're denying it, but they released some of these documents. And currently, I don't know what the current state is, but they're trying to get their hands on the rest of those documents and on the facility itself. There was some legal action, I think, going on down there, but I don't know because I mean we're not on Earth, but clearly they haven't gotten any access to it yet, or else it would have come across feeds. But that being said, I can reach out to see if there's anyone on our side that might be willing to talk. I don't know how much use they're going to be. You know, I can try to find someone who's gifted, but if you go to, the temple place thing, I mean, if you want to trust them, you can. The problem is that where you guys are right now is if the higher ups figure out what you are, you become a threat.
Or something to be studied in a lab. Either way, I'm not exactly looking for that kind of notoriety myself.
And I don't want that either, you know. I want to be able to come and go as I please. I just feel like, I don't know, maybe if I got a better idea of where I fit in this bigger world now, you know, that might help things.
Seems like you got a lot of places where you fit, and having trouble deciding how to merge them all. Maybe
I
they
was
could
about
help
to
us.
say, you make your own place where you want to fit in the world. What do you want to do?
Right now, I want another drink.
The robot
Yeah,
hovers
I can
over.
tell you that another drink you're gonna find no answers in that cup.
I consider that a challenge, and I fucking down it.
Yeah.
I gotta go let the dog out. I'll be right back.
Sure, no problem. Hannah, I would like you to make an attunement roll for me, please.
Sure. That's a psi plus an attribute.
Yeah, Psi plus your highest mode rating.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh my goodness. 4 successes on 4 dice.
So as the server bot kind of rolls away, you feel it's odd. It's like a ripple that kind of washes past you in this room. Like you feel like this. It doesn't feel like you like it feels when you were in the presence of Marty or the other scions. It doesn't feel like a psionic thing. It just feels um like a vibration in the air that puts you on notice.
Well, I certainly immediately turn on my my alertness.
Yeah, you pop that up. And like you just get the sensation that it it doesn't feel personal. Like it's not directed at you or involving you, but you feel sort of the tremor of impending action or something about to happen.
Does it feel dangerous?
Not necessarily. It does. Someone might be in danger, but it doesn't. You don't get that telltale sign of I am in danger or my friends are in danger. It's like there is. It's just like an electricity in the air.
Okay, well,
Like
I
there's
will.
potential.
You guys kind of see me zone out from the conversation, the serious conversation we were having, and I want to try to. I'm just gonna like really try to listen with my ears about what's happening in the room.
Okay.
Just see if there's anything strange I hear. Is that a
Sure. Give me. Let's go with an empathy roll.
sure? And I also have keen sense for sound,
Yeah,
which I
that'll
believe gives
apply.
me an enhancement. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the keen sense. 'Cause I did not write down what it actually does.
And I can almost guarantee that it gives you some
It
form of
probably just
enhancement.
Yeah, it probably just gives dots an enhancement, so I'll
Yeah.
just go with that, so we don't waste our time. So there's wow, one success and one enhancement.
Okay. You look around the room, and the thing that jumps out at you, kind of like you look at another booth that has a small group of people, a group of another group of 3 people, sitting in hushed conversation, like hushed but like intense conversation, across the bar from you all, and they seem to like just from the vibe that you're picking up from them. They seem to also be talking about things that they're passionate about, things that they're important, but also things that they're not just like broadcasting in the room. They're not having a shouting match about it, but they're having a pretty intense conversation about something. It's a little bit out of place for this kind of venue. Like this is a place where you drink and flirt and dance, and to be 2 groups having like actual kind of important conversations about you know if this other group is having like a conversation about worldly matters, which is kind of the vibe that you're picking up, it strikes you as a little odd and maybe a little serendipitous.
Hmm.
But that electricity in the air is still there of this could turn into something.
I kind of zone out from the conversation we're having because I'm just kind of keeping my eye and ears on them. And if I see what looks like a spot for like a chance meeting at a bar,
Mm-hmm.
like if they go over to like the bar sports area or something, I might go strike up conversation, but I don't really know how to approach them right now, so I'm just kind of
Like send
y'all just
Frankie.
sort of see me really focused on this other group of 3 people.
Yeah. And Bram, while you're out of the room, I gave Hannah an attunement roll. I would like you also to make an attunement roll.
Okay, that's highest mode plus side.
Yes.
It's 5 dice. 3 successes, 2 explode. 3 successes.
So yeah, you're letting the alcohol get to you, and that lets your kind of your walls start to come down, and like your inherent telepathy starts to bleed into your thoughts, and you pick up just a couple of snippets of thoughts. Fucking Aeon liars coming from somewhere in this room. Um, uh, Targets under surveillance. And yeah, those like 2 thoughts from 2 different people. Just sort of like these strong thoughts just kind of come into your head, like one from one side of your head, one from the other.
Can I pipe those into the network?
Yeah, you can sprinkle those out into the network, kind of share those thoughts.
Can I try to reach out?
As soon as you
With,
do, I kind of nod in the group in the direction of the other group.
Yeah, I want to try and triangulate where I'm getting these from.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. With when Hannah points out the other group, you think the fucking Aeon liars. Okay, the fucking Aeon liars thought definitely came from that direction. Give me another psi plus highest telepathy mode rating.
No successes.
Yeah, there's too much. There's too much confusion. You can't get no relief.
So there's someone talking about surveillance, and that's probably either us or them that they're looking at, since that's where your stuff's tingling. Do you guys want me to cause a distraction so you can get that other group out of here?
Yeah.
All right.
You cool with that,
Frankie
Bram?
kind of. Is that cool?
What?
Oh, Frankie was offering to create a distraction, and we could get the other group of the 3 people who seem serious to leave with us, since we're assuming it's either us or them that's under surveillance.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's do that.
All right. I got it. She just gives this really big grin. And Frankie basically Frankie's gonna put on an impromptu show by jumping up and taking over one of the poles. She knows one of the dancers. I'm gonna spend a dramatic editing.
Okay, yeah.
And Frankie, you see Frankie, like Frankie's in her element. You see she goes, "Candy, what's up?" And she just kind of like literally jumps off the bar and onto the stage with her. And she goes, "Lamar, hit the track. 8."
All right.
And Frankie is going to basically snap the attention of everyone in this bar.
Give me a presence command roll
Excellent.
to
I'm
provide
real
a
good at these.
distraction.
All right, so 5, 8. I think the rest just gives fucking
Enhancement.
enhancement. I think I
Yep.
get 4 enhancement on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I do this real well. I'm the
This is where you're a
distraction.
Viking.
1, 2, 3, and I'm exploding. Four. So 8.
Absolutely. Yes. All eyes on you. Candy is absolutely into it. She loves she's okay with audience participation as long as it's the right kind of audience. So yeah, track 8 gets played. So lights come up. It's an impromptu Frankie Valentine show, and it is a wonderful distraction. Like there's the person working the light booth like cues it into like, hey, let's bring the lights down, bring the show lights up. So things get wonderfully chaotic and distracted. What are the other two of you doing?
I'm going to very casually walk like I'm going to the bar, but stop by their table
Okay.
and just kind of lean down and be like, all right, this is real weird, and y'all don't know me, but I think someone's been watching either us or y'all, and now's a really good time to get going. And then walk toward the exit.
Give me a persuasion roll. You definitely have a field condition of let's say of the condition of it's going down, which will give you 2 enhancement to
Perfect.
this roll.
You want to spend some
All right.
momentum?
I think we only have one.
I failed a roll. We should have 2.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah, I'll
true.
spend the
Yeah, you have
momentum.
2.
All right, so I'll probably use my presence for this, unless you prefer composure.
Yeah, presence probably is the best one for
Yeah.
this.
Okay. And an extra die for momentum. 1 success.
1 success. Okay, so they kind of
It's
like
2 enhancements. That's 3.
yeah.
Yes.
So they look up at you and like they kind of look around, and they definitely have the looks of people who are not necessarily up to something, but people who like the idea of them being surveilled is not surprising to them.
I kind of figure since I'm still always a little paranoid, just in case my FSA background parents
Mhm.
ever find me.
Mhm.
So I'm probably like used to seeing other people who are also being paranoid.
Yeah.
So we probably kind of clocked at each other.
Yeah, they kind of look at you, look to each other, gather up some like documents that they've been going over, and they stand up and start heading towards the exit as well. Bram, what are you up to?
Crunching on bar peanuts.
Delicious.
I want to hang back and like through the haze of alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
my security guy instincts are going to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to wait and see what the reaction is from anyone else in the crowd to what Hannah is doing.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Right. So yeah, because like people are getting up out of their seats, people are heading to the dance floor. It is a whole situation.
Yeah. Over the mind link, and was like, Frank, you paid my tab, you drank all my drinks anyway, as I'm walking out with them or in front of them.
You get bitch.
I love being called bitch. I'll respond. Pay you back later.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Give me a larceny roll, Bram. The reverse casing.
Mhm.
And I will say the condition of it's going down, it will apply to you as well because Frankie has set the stage for you. 2, 3. Okay, cool. So yeah, you hang back, you look. These 3 people get up, and it's not like they're going with Hannah, but they are all heading towards the exit together. So they're getting up. And in all of the chaos, you track a woman who was sitting at the bar by herself, and you kind of like you do like the reverse engineering of like her and her situation. She was in like the perfect seat to watch the entire bar, and she notices that Hannah and the other 3 get up and leave. She doesn't immediately get up. But she does put down like some money for her drink, and then like wait for the bartender to pick it up, like just enough time to make it not obvious that she's getting up and following them. But she does get up and then also heads towards the exit.
I will follow her as well.
Okay. So Hannah and these 3 people get out of the bar. It is on kind of a straightway. It's basically attached to one of the public transportation stations, and they are getting up, and they look like they are getting ready to scatter.
Can I have also rolled for keen sight to try to see what documents they were hiding?
Sure, absolutely.
Is that integrity? Sorry, I just did it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot.
we'll go with
Okay.
integrity on that one.
Two success, one enhancement.
Awesome. Yeah, you got a good look at one of those, and it looked like it was kind of like they had a bunch of different like slogans that were written out, like and kind of like sketchbook style designs for like placards, like uh, um, and like some of those sayings were Novas were heroes, uh, Aeon's lying, um, uh, they're not all monsters. Um, you know, that kind of milieu of messaging that they're going for.
I share that over the network. I don't I don't know if Hannah wouldn't have any idea what to make of all that, but once we get outside, it's like I kind of look around to see if there's like a cafe or some other, or like even like an alcove to duck into to see if we're followed.
Yeah, I mean they look like they're starting to head in different directions. Like one of them is like there is a small tram that is looks like it's about to leave. One of them's heading towards that. One of them's looking like they're heading down an alley. Another one is looking like they're just like heading to a like a bridgeway that goes across the train station.
Do we have something like airdrop with our mini comps, or some way to contact somebody you don't know who's nearby?
Um,
Near field communication or anything?
Give me a technology roll.
Cool. Two successes.
Two successes. Yeah, you can like you can put out a like immediate area of effect kind of general message.
I put together a very quick message. Don't know what y'all are into, but if you want to talk, and then just my contact info, like just a way to some way to contact me that is not my name,
Okay.
you know, a number or something, and then just let them go and kind of hang back and see if somebody follows them.
Sure. So yeah. How long are you going to be performing, Frankie?
So I want to make it hard to move in here. Because I know my group's already out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume, because I haven't seen anyone else go to the door, that not everyone's out yet that was going to be following.
Right.
So I want to make it really hard to move in here. I want everyone up off their feet.
Okay.
So Frankie is well, my end goal is to have basically Frankie kicked off the stage because it's not that kind of club anymore.
Right.
Frankie's gonna strip.
Oh shit. So I'll let your previous role ride on this, and like, so people start coming into the establishment, like some sort of alert went out, of like things. So people who were like were on the street, like oh, something really cool is happening in this place, and they're coming in. So Bram, you are following this woman out of the door when like a group of 5 people come into the door. So there is like a very like awkward dance as like she is trying to muscle her way out of the door through these people. What are you doing?
I'm going to take that opportunity to kind of bump into her with my pistol drawn and just put it in the small of her back. And I'll keep the other arm like up on her shoulder. It's like, so sorry about that, miss. Here, let me get that for you. And just put forward to like go through the door.
Give me a command roll.
Okay.
This is definitely intimidation. I will say you will get a +2 enhancement for having a gun in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any momentum left?
I believe we have one
Should
left.
have won. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Come on, 5 dice. Aha, 1 success.
Whew.
with the enhancement. That was 2 enhancement, 1 enhancement,
2 enhancements, so 3 successes.
3 total.
Yeah. So she immediately like tenses up, eyes go wide, like glances behind her, and I don't know what you think is happening, but you don't want this smoke.
Keep walking.
So yeah, the people come in, and it's about this time that like Jamal comes up to the stage, and just like hand on the shoulders, like, Frankie, we've had this conversation before.
Frankie's like, but look, I got more people to come in. I got tips. Do you see my tips right now?
You know what? Your tips are lovely. So let's just get you back and get you a drink and get you out of here. I told you this was the last time.
She just kind of laughs and she just like lets him pull her off stage. She just ends up like taking his like coat and putting it on.
Yeah. So yeah, the woman at the door, like the people come in. So she's like, "This is a big mistake," and she keeps walking.
Have you told any of us that you've got this chick with a gun at her back? All right, cool.
No,
don't tell
but,
us. It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
It's fine.
So, what's the interest in the kids?
Are you guys coming outside?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
comes outside.
Okay, yeah, I was having a smoke outside. So
Yeah. So you see Bram come out with this woman right in front of him, like unnaturally close. So Hannah can interpret that as they see.
Yep.
And she says,
Yeah, over the thing. I'm just like, what the fuck, Bram?
She was the one following him.
She says, I really need to clear whatever this is up. So let's, and she like looks over to like the alleyway where one of the kids ran down, but obviously she's not like, it doesn't look like she knows that. But she's like, I want to clear this up. Can we talk over there?
Sure.
I
lead her over, and I'll keep the gun like at the small of her back.
Mm-hmm.
But once we get to the alley, I'll back off like a foot.
Okay. And Hannah, you're able to track this situation perfectly.
Yep, I just keep leaning against the wall, pretending I'm just having a smoke and looking at my mini comp, but I'm actually listening to them.
Okay, gotcha. And Frankie, yeah, you make your way out to the bar about the time you see Bram and this woman heading into an alleyway.
Yeah, and over my I think Frankie, Frankie, I think Bram has a gun on her. I'm gonna just flash a mental image of what I saw.
You're muted, by the way, Dan. Dan, you're muted.
Heard that.
Sorry, I was sneaking pizza. She kind of like looks at it confused at this image in her head, and she trips slightly and she kind of wheels around and she grins at Jamal, and she just like wraps her arms around him, kind of returning his jacket. Was the tip she got enough to pay for their drinks for the night?
Yeah, it was enough.
Perfection. She just like slips a tip into his like pocket.
And he hands you your top that he picked up from the floor.
She puts it back on. Yeah, she was still she had covering,
yeah,
but she was starting to strip. And she just kind of like grins and she gives him a kiss on the cheek. I always bring in business.
The bosses don't like that kind of business. It's fine. It's fine. Just don't be here.
Oh, fine.
So you are having this conversation, Bram, in the alleyway. This woman she's African American looking, sort of very short hair, And she just kind of is just like looking like steel fucking daggers at you. And says, "Who are you with?"
I'll give you that at the end of the conversation. What were you doing with those kids while you're following them?
They are potentially involved in something very dangerous. And given what happened in recent days, we are looking for signs of infiltration. Is that enough to let you know what I'm up to?
Who's we?
She sighs, and she's like with sort of the slowness of someone who's making sure that you know that she's not working for a weapon. She pulls out a little insignia from within her jacket. There's the symbol of the Aeon Trinity. She says, "We take aberrant cultists very seriously. And I hope you would too. Unless," and she kind of gives you a narrow glance that implies violence. If
What the fuck, Bram?
Look, you don't got to worry about that from me. Unless, well, if I'm one, then you are well and truly fucked.
that's a reality that we live with every day.
Over the mind link, I do like, that makes sense, and just kind of show him an image of the document. Or what else?
I'll actually make a show of actually putting the gun away. Sorry, look, just doing my job.
Benji, baby. Frankie's
Coming around the
basically
bend,
looking
yeah.
around.
Like,
Oh yeah, I'm going to go butt my ass into this conversation.
Well, she looks over at you and says, then looks back to Bram, says, "Right, I have to get going. I have to try and track them down. I would like to know who you're with, just in case there's issues that we have to sort out later. But if not, I need to get going."
Drop me your contact info. I'll send you what I can when I can. Sorry, again.
Yeah, she pulls out a little data chip from that insignia and says, "Fine," and hands you this little data chip. And
Awesome.
then she's
I take it.
And she's like, "I have to get going." And she scans around, kind of looks over to you, and says, looks over to Hannah and says, "Did you see where they went?"
There's been a little bit of time, so I just kind of point vaguely in the direction one of them went. The one that seemed like they were just kind of talking about those people who left right before y'all. That way, I
Yeah.
think. Everything all right?
It's fine. And she heads off in that direction.
Valens makes a big show of wrapping her arms around the back of Nigel, your character's name is Bram. Thank you.
Bram.
I was getting there. Around Bram's shoulders and just kind of rests her chin on his shoulder and watches the lady leave confused. You okay, Benji?
Yeah, I'm fine, babe. Just fine.
You missed the show.
Yeah, what were you doing?
Stripping.
He chokes despite the fact that he's not drinking anything. What? Okay. Okay. Nice. Good job, baby. I'm desperately waiting for this person and any other passerby so that the charade can be dropped.
Yeah, you're alone enough. You're alone enough.
Yeah, once she leaves out of earshot, I'll let you know. Come join you. Whoops.
Frankie doesn't move, by the way. Frankie's content.
Hannah, you get a ping back on your message chain of thanks for the heads up. Not sure why you helped, but glad you did. And there is a... I'm trying to think how they would handle that. They say like, yeah, they basically they give you something that is like obviously an anonymized like contact info.
Yeah, felt like what I gave them.
Like, owe you one. We owe you one. Use this if you want to cash in the favor.
I ping back a little thumbs up, and that's it.
Okay.
Glad you tell. Well, they appreciate it and say they owe us a favor if we need it. Not sure I want to get involved in aberrant cultists if that's what they are.
No.
Whoops.
No. What
Indeed.
do you mean aberrant cultists?
Well, that's what she said. She thought they were, right?
That is what she said, but
I don't know her from Adam either, so.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. I try to be cool. I try to do shit.
I thought that was very cool.
And I mess up. I just shouldn't do anything. I should go back to being a mook in the Vikings.
Oh, whatever. They're protesters. It's fine.
Seriously? She kind of like leans back and looks at Bram. Seriously.
I may have just helped 3 aberrant cultists escape.
And we, if that happens to be the case, can track them back down.
Yeah, I guess.
Are you really going to let one potential mistake send you running? If that's the case, you don't have the balls I thought you did.
Frankie, I got balls.
Yeah? Because all I've heard is you being real upset all tonight because you're having to make decisions for the first time.
Well, yeah, it's not something I'm used to.
Well, get used to it. You should have been making decisions. Otherwise, your life's not yours. You're living someone else's dream. Live your dream. And that comes with making mistakes. Fuck, ask Hannah how many times I've fucking made mistakes. I've had to get my dad.
Mistakes.
You can tell him. Tell him about the time we had to get dad to bail my ass out.
Which one?
I was about to say, there's only one?
Look, I've made my fair share of mistakes, and I've run my mouth a fair share of times that my ass couldn't cash some checks that my mouth was writing, okay? But it doesn't stop me from continuing to do what I want to do. We're not perfect. We can only do our best.
So I guess the next thing I got to figure out is what my dream is.
Yeah, figure out what you want to do.
Well, I hope you'll excuse me if I don't exactly have an answer for you right now.
No, I don't expect you to.
Good. Because I don't. Yeah.
You'll get there. Just don't be too hard on yourself.
I'll see what I can do.
Also,
hey, that's better than what you would have gotten an hour and however much of that vodka ago.
You only drink like 3/4? No, like 1.5 before we had to leave.
I'll pull out a flask for my my breast pocket.
And besides, my little striptease paid for our drinks for the night, so we still have our money. We can still go drinking.
So about the striptease,
What about it?
like, walk me through. Like, are you like, you know?
You didn't watch
Is
the
it,
show. Why should I tell you?
well, that's why I'm asking. I want to get a sense of it. I want to get an idea. Paint me a picture. Bang, artist. You're so good at it. Come on, hit me. What was it like burlesque? Did you get your pasties on? Did you you know,
I
anything
didn't make it that
tearaway?
far, sweetheart.
What'd you do?
I got my top off and then I got shooed off the stage, okay? It's not that type of establishment anymore.
That is a
New
shame. And
management doesn't like that.
I'll kind of lean out the alley. That is a shame. How dare you? You would be so lucky.
Jamal and I go way back.
Huh?
Jamal, that's Jamal.
Jamal. I'm literally just yelling down like the road as if he could hear me.
He can't.
Right
You want to go
there.
talk to Jamal? We can go talk to him, but I'm not allowed in the club tonight, at least not for the rest of the night.
Nah. They don't want you. Nah, forget them. We'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere your assets are appreciated.
I got the perfect place. So, Frankie,
Cut to.
cut to Frankie, oddly enough, Frankie has read the room a little bit, even in her kind of like buzz state. She understands that this is kind of like more introspective. She tried the party aspect, it didn't work. So Frankie's going to take them a place where she feels safe, which is from her childhood. So they are near to where her father's area is, not in it, but near it. There is like an old, like unused playground that used to be a lot more popular. But for some reason, it just kind of fell out of service and out of use. And now it's kind of like a local hangout for people who don't really have another place to go. And she basically leads you guys through, and she kind of like says hi to some of the locals in the area who know her because she's been there enough. And she takes them to the back and to the top of this old wood, like not really wooden, but something that's replicated wooden, basically fort type thing.
Playscape.
And yeah, play like a play place. And she takes you up to the top where there is like this little area where you can look out on everything. And she goes, "There, you want to think? Sit and think."
He'll sit, just kind of, he'll just sit right down on the little parapet.
When you lean your head back, like up on the ceiling, it clearly a child has basically painted it black and has put their stars, trying to put their representation of stars up there.
So I've been belly aching all night. So y'all's turn. Go do something. Say something.
Hannah's turn. I've been talking.
I don't really know what you want me to say right now.
Well,
We're all
we've been
sharing
exposing ourselves.
yeah, our problems. Frankie's exposing her bosoms, you know, so there's a lot of exposure going on. Let's
Actually, there wasn't really any
share,
exposure
share,
going
share
on,
with
but
us.
okay.
You're real lucky you got a lot of places to be, Bram. Think I'm gonna call it a night. And unless you stop me, I'm gonna probably head back to the crash space.
No, we got this wonderful place. Come on, at least a little bit, something. Come on.
Yeah, all right. Last time I saw my family was also in an aberrant attack. I think they think I'm dead, but I haven't really been trying to hide too hard of late, since what can they do anyway to make me go back? You're really lucky you had somebody to look out for. You have a lot of purpose.
Where are they, your family?
I'm sure they're back in corporate housing like before.
You don't ever want to see them again?
Wouldn't mind seeing my grandma again, but I don't really want to let any of them know I'm still don't really want to open up lines of communication.
I got you. But are they here? Are they on
Oh, on Luna,
Luna?
presumably. Let's say they went back to Earth or something. They immigrated here for work, and can't imagine anything would make them change their minds on that.
What time is it right now?
It's getting close to midnight, quote unquote. Lunar Standard Time.
And Syads, we can mix our powers internally, but we can't cooperate and mix powers with other Syads.
Not in the strict mechanical sense. Like, you don't get the benefits that Scions get for merging their powers. But you can try to do something creative.
I got an idea. And if it's terrible, just let me know, because I'm kind of batting 1,000 for terrible ideas. But
then what's one more on the pile? What you got?
your grandma's probably asleep, and I'm a telepath. So, what say you and I try and find her dreams, and you can go say hi.
And it kind of sits back and thinks for a moment, like, is this drunk talk? And then after a little bit of thinking, like, fuck it, let's try it. What do we do here?
Let's go with a 2 psi rolls. Let's go with a psi plus clairsentience, highest clairsentient from Hannah, and a psi plus telepathy from Bram.
No successes.
Also no successes, so at least we got some momentum.
You do get some momentum. You guys, you're feeling each other psychically. You're sort of in that space where you're close enough that you can sort of feel the energies going to and from. And maybe it's the alcohol, but you can't forge any kind of meaningful connection between the two of your powers. You do, however, Hannah, I will say, in your reaching out and, feeling out of your powers and your connection to your grandmother, you do sense her. You are able to get a sense of her, and for a brief moment, she's not well.
Yeah, I'll kind of see Hannah like really concentrating, like real serious and concerned, and then just kind of, well, maybe we can try again another time.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Can I basically spend one of my inspiration to give them a reroll? And the way I want to flavor it is that she's studied Syads. She has studied psychics because Valens wants to be one, but she does not have it.
Right.
So can Valens kind of like guide them on how she has seen basically the descriptions of it before?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, that's fine.
Because flux and psi are two very different things. And trying to edit things in this way is not
Gotcha.
You're playing with two different into two different pools.
No problem.
Mm, but I do want to give you something for the idea. You feel out you're trying to rack your brain. You're trying to think of like all the things that you've seen and felt and heard. And you sort of just like close your eyes to think really hard, and just an image behind your eyes just flashes to you of the attack that you just lived through. But instead of cowering in a stairwell, you are face to face with like a mass of muscle and teeth with your bio-shaped claws dug into its belly. And then you're back to yourself.
Gross. And
in this scene, very well described in my head, that just cries out to that playground in Final Fantasy VII. I just got that in my head. Maybe it's because I've been playing the remake. We will leave this moment of confusion and unfulfilled desires and end it for the evening. Hooray!
Yay!
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and I didn't get to describe how Frankie was going to be stretched out over one of the merry-go-rounds, casually like kicking it to keep herself spinning as she's like,
Sure. All right. Well, let's go over XP. So, did anyone achieve a short-term aspiration this game?
I did not.
I don't think I did.
I don't think I did, no.
Okay.
Because I didn't get into trouble. Someone else did.
I didn't get you out of trouble.
Indeed. You did spend half of your momentum in a single scene. So that's going to be an XP.
Yep.
And let's say, yeah, and I don't suppose anyone got a long-term aspiration.
No.
Gotcha. And I'll give you a start of the story milestone XP. So everyone gets 2 XP.
Cool.
Woohoo.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for playing with me today, my players. Thank you all out there for watching. If you would like to support the show and the channel, you can go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios, where you can get all sorts of cool information, get access to our Discord, where you can chat with all of us, and various other benefits. Does anyone have anything they want to plug this week? All right, cool. Well then, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.